everyone, my name is Jack Chapple. I upload business, entrepreneurship, finance, and investing related videos pretty much every day, so hit that subscribe button if you want to see those. Hit that like button. Like this video means a lot to me. You'll be treasured in my soul forever. But today we are talking about the best investments I've ever made, and I didn't do the dashes under here. Why? I always do the dashes. So the best investments that I have ever made. Okay? So some of these are actual like stock investments, some of them are life investments, and some of them are, we're going to get to this. But there's a wide range of stuff that you can consider an investment. So we're going to get going on this here. So we're going to start off with, you know what, we'll go in reverse order number 10. We're going to go in reverse order. So the fifth best investment. The fifth was my underpaid corporate position. So for those of you that don't know, when I was 17, I got a corporate job. I was making really good money there for like 2 or 3 years. And then I left because I couldn't handle that in school and university, I mean. And so I left, and then eventually I came back. I came back a couple years ago, but I was in a higher position. I was essentially an apprentice for a guy that's very, very wealthy, owns lots of businesses, and I was severely underpaid. Why do I consider that an investment? Because I could have got paid a normal 50 grand a year job somewhere else, or 30 or 40 grand a year job somewhere else. Excuse me, I just kind of choked on my spit there. I could have got paid a lot more somewhere else, okay, is what I'm trying to say here. But I purposely took an underpaid job so I can learn how to run a business. I purposely did that. That is a negative investment. That is an investment by taking away stuff, I guess, if that makes sense. So this was a long-term investment. So why was that so good? Because I worked there for 6 months, 8 months, and wasn't making a lot of money. If you include all the commuting and the parking and paying for all that stuff, I mean, I'd be lucky if I'd take home some days like $75. I mean, to be honest, the commute was terrible. The gas was a lot of money. I mean, I'd go through half a tank a day. So it was really stupid. But underpaid corporate position was one of the best things. And I remember I'd come home, I'd complain, and my girlfriend would just always be like, well, then why don't you leave? And I remember calling my mom one day, and I was telling her, like, I'm ready to leave. But she said, just hang on a few more months. Because remember why you're doing this. You're not doing this because you're not getting paid enough. I mean, you're not doing this for the money, I mean. You're not doing this for, for time reasons. You know that you're going to have no time. You're doing this because you know it's going to be worth it in the end. You know that one day this experience, and I know usually I'm not okay with being paid with experience, but for most people, but this was a different scenario. I mean, I was literally on the insides of the business learning how to set it up. He was taking me through like documents too. And she said, like, look, you're doing this to learn how to be successful. It's just school. Think of it as school. This is what you're doing. You're going to school. Don't worry about the money. Don't worry about the commute. You're going to school. You have to go. So that was one of the best things I ever did. Because if I didn't do that, I'm not here talking to you today. I'm not, or maybe I am. I think I had a YouTube channel back then. I'm not quite sure. But I wouldn't be running businesses out of this studio making more money than I could have ever done at any other job for some of my age. So actually I was thinking about that today too recently. Was that I think that we're going to move on to number 4. I think that out of everyone that was in my program, so I come from a university program, Honors Health Sciences, where everyone was going to be a doctor. And I think that at this moment, I'm definitely making more money than everyone else that graduated. I mean, from what I hear, most people are making like 40K at most at a research job, or still in school. And I'm probably gonna do over 100 grand, well over 100 grand. So, I mean, I was thinking about that today. Like, I'm doing pretty well, which is good. I need to keep growing. I'm not going to stop. I need to keep growing. But we'll see. I got to invest. I want to get into that real estate game soon, man. But for now, it's stocks. For now, we're just stocks, real estate. I have to wait till next year, according to the government. So we're going to move on to number 4. Books. Books/programs. And I know I used to roll my eyes whenever someone would say this, like, invest in yourself, but you know what? I mean, it pays off. When you buy enough books and online programs and stuff, I mean, I know it sounds weird, but it really, really helped, man. I mean, I've probably put in, it's in the thousands of dollars. I would say it's under 10,000. It has to be under 10,000. It's probably somewhere around $1,000 to $5,000 I probably put into programs and books in the last 2 or 3 years. And it just helps you run a business. It helps you with an investing strategy. It helps you know what's coming. I mean, I've bought more books this year than I've ever bought in my entire life combined. And some of them are great, some of them not so great. I've bought a bunch of online programs from those that most people, say what you will about them. I bought Tai Lopez's 67 Steps. Very good program, helps open your mind. Some people didn't get as much from it as I did. But I bought his program. I bought other people's programs. I think I bought one of Grant Cardone's. I forget which one I bought from him. Robert Kiyosaki. I mean, I bought programs, and they help you. Like Robert, here's what I'll say about Robert Kiyosaki's his real estate one, which was it went into really big detail about investing. Like I was, me, I went through the entire real estate course, real estate agent, and I learned more from his program and book that came with it than I learned in my entire course. I mean, I was shocked. There was terms in there that I'd never heard of. And I've been in the real estate game for a long time, being an agent and an apprentice to a real estate broker for a long time. And so some of those things, I always thought that they were bullshit, someone just trying to sell you on something, but they actually do provide a lot of value. And so books and programs, I mean, they've paid, especially Grant Cardone's book, one of them taught me how to sell, which was really good. How to sell stuff. I forget which book it was that I read, but it was really good. It taught me a lot about selling, over delivering, things along those lines. So books and programs, I recommend them. It depends on which one though. Some of them you're not going to get much out of. I mean, some of Grant Cardone's, he sells some ones for $80,000 to businesses, and I'm not buying that. For $80,000, I want an advertising campaign, right? So some of them, and then some of them are good value. Some of them are $60. Some of them are I think, what was Tai Lopez's? His was $67, and it was a lot of content. I mean, mine, I think it's $57. I think mine's $57, and you get 14 or 13 hours of content right now, which is pretty good, and it's about stocks and business and stuff. And I think it just depends on what you get. Some people don't get as much value from it as I would have. So it all depends on what books, what programs. So, anyways, we're going to move on here to number 3. We're going to talk about Apple, Nike, and stocks. Apple, we're going to throw in tech systems. Why not? Apple, Nike, and tech systems. Apple, Nike, and tech systems. Then we're going to move on to number 2. So these were my big wins in university. Those 3 stocks. And so they are what paid for my living expenses. After I quit my corporate job in first or second year university, this is what I did. These were the 3 stocks that single-handedly paid for all my living expenses for a year. Well, not all of them. I would say most of them, but not all of them for sure. So Apple, Nike, and tech systems. I did actually end up having to sell some of them to pay for, actually that's what I sold them for. It was because I got sick and I had to pay for drug expenses and stuff. But they did pay for living expenses too. So anyways, what happened was I bought Apple for $80, $85 or $88 or something like that. Nike was, I don't even remember what Nike was. I actually don't remember the exact number for that. And tech systems, I bought that too. All at the same time, held on to them for a year, and I put in $5,000 maybe into those, $5,000-6,000, somewhere around there, and it doubled up. It doubled up. So it doubled up for 2 factors. One was because these stocks went up, 50% in 1 year. Pretty much I think all of them did. Apple went from $80 to I think, what did it sell for? 130? I think it was 130 I sold it for. So that went up. Went up $50. That went up 40, 50% or something like that. I think so. I don't know these exact numbers. Nike did that too, and Tech Systems did that too. But I remember, like, I had my memory, 84% return that year. 84% from 1 year. I mean, I essentially made $5 grand, probably around $5 grand that year, from just investing in stocks. This was all in one night too. I invested in all 3 of these. So that was a really good investment. And I probably would have sold Tech Systems if I didn't get sick and had to pay for stuff. I would have sold Tech Systems regardless, but I probably would have kept these 2. But yeah, I had to end up selling all of them because I got sick. So anyways, that was a really good investment. I don't really have a moral for that one. It was just, I it was pretty good. So Apple, Nike, and Tech Systems. We're going to move on here to, so one of the reasons why I had such a good return on these, I forgot to follow the second part of this. So these only went up like 50%, right? They only went up only 50%. The other thing too was that they were American companies. I bought them when the Canadian dollar was almost at par with the American dollar. I was smart about that. I remember that specifically. So I invested in them. And then what happened? Canadian dollar tanked. Canadian dollar went down to 67 cents, I think, of the American dollar, and I bought it. I sold them on that day. And so I had an extra 33% kickback from the dollar tanking, which was really nice. So I had on top of whatever they went up, I had an extra 33%, which is nice. Highly recommend doing that. Sometimes you have to bet on countries, not just individual stocks. We're going to move on to number 2 here, which was smartphone. Actually, you know what? We're going to go with smartphone / BlackBerry. BlackBerry. So my BlackBerry, I had a BlackBerry when I was 14, and that was life-changing for me, because you know what I got to do? I got to follow stocks all day. That's all I did for the entire time, grade 9, 10, all day in class, had the stock app open. I couldn't invest anything. I would just follow stocks. I would follow patterns, see what would go up and down. I remember there was this gold company that doubled in value in essentially a week. I was like, I wish I had money for that. I was tracking it for so long too. Apparently they had taken a bet that there would be gold for, I don't know if this is true or not. This is just my memory, okay? I don't know if this is true. But they had taken a bet that this giant plot of land of whatever, how many acres, would have gold reserves under it. And so that's what they did. They had a hint that there was some gold under there, and so that's what they did. They found 1,000 pounds of gold or something like that, or 500 pounds, or even a couple 100 pounds would have changed it. All right? This is just from memory. I don't know if this is complete bullshit or not, but this is from my memory. A gold company doubled in value because they found a plot of scattered gold ore or something along those lines. So that's probably I just remember the news story. It's probably not true, but that's what I remember from those stock days. It's like that stock doubled in value and it was a gold company. That is true. I just don't know why it doubled. So anyways, BlackBerry was a good investment because I got to learn about business on the go. I got to learn it while in school. In school, they don't teach you about business. They don't teach you about stocks. They have entrepreneurship course that's 6 weeks long that's taught by someone who's not an entrepreneur. I mean, they don't have chemistry teachers that have never done a lab before. They don't have those kinds of people, but yet they have entrepreneurship courses taught by people who aren't entrepreneurs. All chemistry teachers have done chemistry experiments. All math teachers have done math. All English teachers have probably read a bunch of stuff and done theses, and written a bunch of stuff and read a bunch of stuff. But an entrepreneurship course doesn't need to be taught by an entrepreneur. It has to be taught by a teacher. Stupid. I hate that part of it. So I got to learn about business on the go. I had access to the internet wherever I was before computers and iPads and all that were even allowed in classes. iPads didn't even exist. I just had my BlackBerry. I just Safari. And then the smartphone. Smartphone 2, I just converted to an iPhone in university. And that's being able to learn on the go. Podcasting, that revolutionized it. Podcasting. I've listened to literally thousands of hours of podcasts, of business podcasts on here. Thousands of hours. Teaching me about like, I don't read all the time, but I listen to podcasts all the time. That's how I have so much information in my brain about a lot of business stuff, is because all I do all day is just listen. I listen to business stuff. I listen to Bloomberg. I listen to, Peter Schiff, but he's always just saying the world's going to end. But I still like listening to him. I was listening to NPR, Planet Money today. Great podcast. Teaches you about case studies of certain businesses or investments or economic ideas. Really good podcast. So those are just a few. Anyways, smartphone, BlackBerry, good investment. Now, my number one of all time. It's not even close. My number one investment of all time is this. Mac desktop. Number one. So this computer cost me $3,000. I got it all pimped out. I didn't need to get it all pimped out, but I did. And this computer, through video editing, we're talking video editing, animations for my old channel, uploading videos, for doing all of the stock stuff, for, stuff that my old computer, it couldn't keep up. My old computer had only like 2 or 4 gigs of RAM, and it just couldn't do anything anymore. It was too old. And so I got this computer, and I swear to God, if I didn't upgrade my computer, I wouldn't have any business right now. I wouldn't have any online business, at least. And I bought that for $3,000. It's probably pumped out like $40K on its own in the past year and a half, or how long have I had it? Just on its own. So that was the best investment I ever made. Sometimes your best investment is in something that is material. Sometimes it is. I think that, what's my best investment? That changes, I guess, depending on the day, but I was thinking about it. That Mac desktop, has an ROI of 10,000% at least. So sometimes it can be. Sometimes you need a tool. Sometimes the Mac desktop is my tool. I invested in it. Okay? I wouldn't have bought it if I was going to do it to play games. I bought it specifically for business, to be able to do things online quicker, and to be able to do more things, to be able to open up an animation software, an editing software, to be able to export videos in 10 minutes or 5 minutes instead of 2 hours. I swear to God. Oh my God, those videos took forever to export on a computer. So do you guys have that? In your field, would you guys have a material investment? For some people, it's actually cars, because for a lot of drivers specifically, that's how you need to make money. Sometimes like a car, if you're a driver, you need a car, right? If you want to become an Uber driver, even though they don't really make that much money, you need a car. You can buy a car and have it be a good investment sometimes. For a house, sometimes you can rent it out and have it be a good investment. Multifamily especially. Multifamily is a good investment. Sometimes it's a computer. But don't rationalize. See, here's the thing. I'll end it on this. Yes, probably my best investment of all time was a material thing. However, I get people like my girlfriend who, whenever she buys something, she says it's a good investment, because he tries to trick her mind into thinking it's a good investment. So she'll say it because an article of clothing was on sale, it's an investment. I give her the cold look. Don't use that word. That is a special word. Your primary house is not an investment. What makes you think your sweater would be an investment? Unless you're an Instagram model, even that, I don't even think that counts. So, anyways, do you guys have any material things that are an investment for you guys? Sometimes they can be. I rip on them a lot, but sometimes they can. Actually, this camera. I guess I should have included this, my camera that I'm talking to right now. This little thing right here, it's like a couple pounds. It was all inclusive, like $1,200. I'm able to shoot video on this now, wherever I go, in the studio. I had this big clunky camera before. It was like this big. It's probably this big. I couldn't carry it around if I had to do a whole setup and stuff, and so this one is a lot better. Help me make more videos more often. So anyways, that's going to wrap this video up. Make sure to check out my stock market and business programs in the link below. $197 worth of value for free. I'm throwing it in there with everything, and you get 12 hours of content now, or more than that, 14 hours. So go check it out. Thank you very much for watching. You're all very beautiful people, and I'll see you guys in the next video.